Hi everyone, welcome back to ITK Reviews. I'm just here with the Romcom Guys, my first ever interview. I don't know if you remember from November 2024, Christmas Games Night. So I'm here today again for the Valentine's special with Phil Asai and David Ajayi.
Hey.
I'm just going to get them to introduce themselves real quick to us. So could you just tell us who you are?
Yes. One half of the Romcom Guys. I'm David Ajayi, writer, actor, and producer.
I'm half of the Romcom Guys, Phil Asai, and I'm a writer and director.
So I just want you guys to tell us real quick, what is the Romcom Guys? How did you come up with this?
So we are a comedy writing duo that make films, TV shows, just telling stories together, all about love, family, and community. Centered around rom-coms because we love rom-coms, grew up watching them, obsessed with them, and we feel like they're a good vehicle to tell why the story is just about, human relations and that kind of thing.
Also, we feel like we've got a unique perspective on rom-coms, being black men growing up in London as well. So, no one can tell a story like we can. So
I think that's amazing because obviously before this interview, I decided to watch everything they had on YouTube. I mean, I've seen some other things that you guys are not privy to because you're not special. Including the Christmas Game Night that was premiered in Genesis Cinema. But I'm going to say I was really quite impressed because, like I said to you guys already before we started this, that I love how non-toxic your content is. I feel like we don't focus on the real reason for rom-coms anymore, which is like happy moments, non-toxic moments, just like joyful moments, which you guys do really, really well. So I just want you to talk to me about that. Is that a conscious effort when you're writing your dialogues, when you're writing your script?
I think it's an interesting one because we kind of already start from that position.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of just how we are. So like sometimes when you hear like, am I the asshole on like Reddit or something like that, or you hear like, you hear these crazy stories or you watch something, it's like, we're thinking, wow, people actually do that. That's kind of crazy. We kind of start from a place that's not toxic anyway. I think that's just kind of who we are, wouldn't you?
I think we just naturally have a positive perspective when it comes to all things love. We're like, all right, it's going to be happy, but then it's like, what conflicts can we add in just to make it funny as well?
Because conflict is story. We tend to start from, because I mean, people tend to know where the rom-com's going to go for the most part. So it's just like, okay, cool, how can we take them on that journey? But then also it's like, what messages are you sending out into this world? Like, because when we do stories about love, family and community, a lot of that has to do with redemption. You don't get on with family sometimes. Like, community can be a hard thing to organize and everyone to be together, and friendship and everything. So it's a case of like, well, what message are we sending out there? If my family watches this, are they going to feel good after watching this kind of thing?
It's important, like I said, that you're both black men, British Nigerian as well. How does that influence your writing again? How does that influence even your acting? I think your acting is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
He's so quiet in person. On the screen,
I'm chilling.
Honestly, he's a rainbow. I'm so surprised. He's actually
This guy is my director. I'm a great director.
I know, he's a great actor.
A great director.
You guys should go watch the stuff. I know I'm going to.
I think, well, you're spot on in terms of like the way London is and the way people tend to be. And I think it's just London hardens you in a way that like maybe other areas in the UK don't. Because there's a lot of people quite standoffish. Everyone minds their own business. Conflict is quite normal. Like, I even had a bit of conflict on the train here. Like, it's just normal. It's just normal. It tends to be quite a normal place to start from. Especially like, we want like the dialogue. Everything needs to feel authentic in terms of the black London experience, because that's our experience essentially. And a lot of that space is dominated by, I don't like saying gang culture and gang films and TV, but they tend to they dominate those spaces. Even like in it's not even just in commercial projects like, your Top Boy, for example, but even just like in the independent short film spaces, any film that's got like gang culture in it is getting views upon views upon views. Any film that hasn't got that, not so much. But you can kind of see a through line there where it's like, it tends to be quite standoffish. It tends to be quite, I guess, grey, essentially.
Yes.
So if we can bring a bit more life into that, then that would be fantastic, because our experiences are just as valid and just as normal. No one can tell me that these black boys on the street or wherever they are aren't experiencing love, hurt, friendship hurt, all of that. Like, they're experiencing all of that. So we want to tell those stories, essentially.
How does that translate for you when you're acting, when you're trying to? Now I see it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, how can you try to step to a woman and you don't know how it works? I was like, what is he doing? But like, I love how you turn it around. I love how, I don't want to say there's a sort of innocence to it. Like again, it's not riddled with trauma. It's so amazing. Just like love, pure, beautiful love. How does your background, like I said, the fact that you're Nigerian British, that you're born in London, how does that translate when you're acting? How do you portray that as well?
That's really great. I think, firstly, I'm very blessed to have been raised in the household I was raised in, two parents that love each other deeply. And I grew up just seeing that and just seeing like, oh, this is what that is. I want everyone to see what that is. I wonder if I could put that in film. And that also comes from just my love of just rom-coms. Like growing up, it was the 90s black rom-coms, it was the sitcoms, Fresh Prince, My Wife and Kids, Martin, just watching like those men in those roles. I'm like, oh, that's the kind of person I want to be. I remember being in high school, discovering In the House, and I actually studied LL Cool J so I could learn how to talk to ladies. Didn't work because I never used it. But I just remember embodying that and just being like, okay, so there is like a cool, softer black man that I could be. And I think that just naturally comes out whenever I'm doing these rom-coms.
I love that you're addressing your background, family you were raised in. Because in one of your shorts as well, I noticed that came up. Well, where the man was a delivery driver, and he ends up delivering to someone that was his ex. And she had like just the best thoughts. She has a family that's still together. She's a doctor now, and he just felt like he wasn't good enough for her, so he just took himself out of it. Which a lot of men, actually, a lot of black men tend to do these days. And I know it's important for you to touch on topics like that. I also saw the short where Oluwa Benga called himself Ben. And Oluchi, I love her. But she was saying, oh, what does your name mean? And he didn't understand. So I love that you still talk about all the important topics that we talk about when you're trying to figure out what your identity is. When you're trying to figure out who you are in this world, like we all are. And especially when you have mixed backgrounds, you're not just one thing. You grew up this way and there's this. So how do you ensure that that even though we're talking about romance that is non-traumatic, you still talk about the real hard topics, that you still address the real hard topics? In Christmas Games Night, we were talking about friends that hadn't seen each other in a while because they were so, you could tell that there was water and there was a lot of things that needed to be addressed. Definitely. And they needed to address it, but it wasn't addressed, and then there was a girl that was getting in the mix. So like, how do you ensure that the stories that you're telling are still real, but we still come out of it in a non-toxic manner, in a manner that's full of joy? How do you ensure that that's a thing? Because obviously that's intentional, yes?
Definitely. I think that, we're pulling from real life quite a lot. So like, I had the exact opposite upbringing to him. Like, I had a disconnected family, parents divorced at like when I was like 7 or something like that. Quite a violent, tumultuous setup essentially. And my introduction into, like, for example, romance and family and positive stories like that were kind of similar to David, and says I'm watching like Fresh Prince thinking, oh, this is a nuclear family, I can achieve that myself. So not like I had it in the home, but it's like, okay, cool, am I going to try and achieve that for myself and then also for my children, child for right now. I don't know. Hey, but yeah, no, we're pulling from real life. Like, That's Not My Order, the one with the delivery driver, that's a bit of like myself and then David, essentially. Like, I'm thinking, oh, do I deserve to have a perspective on romance and love if I didn't have that exhibited for me in my upbringing? And then David has his perspective, and it's like, can I even have a valid perspective in comparison to David, who had love in his house growing up, kind of thing? So you kind of put those real aspects into a story. Or even like, for example, with Christmas Games Now, you got friends that they haven't addressed some stuff, and then now things are boiling up. I think that's just like natural stuff. Like, in order for people to like almost remain friends over years and years and years, some things don't get addressed, and then when they don't get addressed, they kind of creep up. And then they come out through toxic behavior.
Oh no.
And any small thing, right?
No, but that was a thing. That was a thing. There's a very interesting relationship between love and hate, or like even when we're doing Christmas Games, that was like, we really want them to kind of mean girl each other, the guy characters, because I don't know why people think that guys don't do that. That guys don't like be a bit catty and like act a certain way when women are around and that type of stuff. It's all natural. It's all real. Like that's what guys go through. So
because actually, when I'm watching the thing, I watch your work. How do you still find a way? Because again, David is really quite impressive.
I'm chilling.
I didn't say that one more time. Look, you see how expressive he is in his films. It's not what I mean. So how do you ensure that even when you're asked to play a character that's not loving or sweet or doesn't understand everything, like that you can still like do that? Like, do you just you just get that inspiration from like TV shows you've watched? Because it's great to hear that, oh, I grew up in a loving family. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We all grew up in loving families.
Pray that we all do.
Even if we didn't, we should do it for our kids.
Amen.
But is it important to like draw, I don't know, inferences from people that I guess what you've seen on TV?
Yeah.
Because Will in
Fresh Prince.
he was doing a lot. I love Fresh Prince. I rewatch it all the time, but he was doing a lot as well.
Yeah.
But then they also address real issues. So how do you draw from actors before you?
Yeah.
How do you still ensure to like you can do the loving character, but you can also sometimes be someone that's not that considerate in the film? How do you do that?
That's a good question. I think it's just about finding the truth, you know, and the authenticity of what the character's going through. So separating myself and coming to, I think my approach to acting is always one of like empathy and compassion. So I want to understand why my character's doing something, why they feel a certain way, even if it's something that the David will feel like, oh, I would never do that. That's terrible. That's judgmental. That's toxic, whatever. But if it's something that my character's doing, I gotta be like, okay, I understand why they're doing this thing. And it's for the sake of the story to overall get to a place where there's growth and love and redemption. You know?
Yes, fantastic. I want to touch on one thing because I kind of strolled into your podcast. Phil said that Christmas Games Night nearly took his life. And he was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And apparently, so the dynamic usually is that you're the more cynical person and you're the more like, is that what you said? Yeah.
Yeah, to some degree. Yeah.
So I think that's where I want to go to now. It's like, yes, we talked about the work, but
no, it's fine.
People understand just how much independent filmmakers have to go through to deliver what they have to. Like sometimes you're shooting on your phone. Sometimes you said you now have equipment, which is fantastic. But I can't imagine how long it took or how much money you have to spend of your own money rather. So I just wanted you to tell me a bit more about that journey, because then what that does is it makes your work more intentional. It means that you're going out of your way to put this content out there. Again, non-toxic, loving, sweet, actual rom-coms. So that means you're going out of your way to do that. And I want to hear all about just what your journey looks like. What your journey looks like so far. How much you've had to like invest of yourselves. Because you're an actor. I've seen you on like TV. And I'm like, oh, but then you still set that time obviously to do this. And you have like a job, a family, and you still set that time to do this. So can you just talk me through a bit of your journey, starting Romcom Guys, and just like all the things you've had to, I don't want to say endure, but not all the hard work you've had to put in to ensure that this content is out there and that people are seeing this version of love as well.
I'm sure most filmmakers, especially in London, or I just say the UK in general, everyone is applying for stuff all the time. It's such a small circle where everyone's trying to get into the same space, which means that people don't get to make films even though they have scripts prepared, even though they have ideas and everything. And we always knew that like we can't let a lack of budget or a lack of equipment or whatever get in the way of us being able to be filmmakers, because we're going to be filmmakers regardless of like whether we have equipment or not. So that's why with something like Errors and Eros, we shot that on 2 iPhones in David's garage. Like
that was so funny. I'm sorry. And I was just laughing. I was like, what the heck is this? I laughed a lot, but I got it. I mean, I understand.
Appreciate
and that's the thing. I think people can be forgiving, especially if the content is good or is entertaining. At least people can be forgiving of like, you know, you might mess up with a bit on sound here, or the color grade ain't great, or no one's going to tell us what we don't already know in terms of the quality of our work. It's allowed us to practice, and it's allowed us to practice themes, it's allowed us to practice storytelling, it's allowed myself to practice as a director, work with multiple actors. Like with Christmas Games Night, that was the most amount of actors I've worked with on one project, but I was prepared immediately from jump. So it's just allowed us to prepare. Thank you. It's allowed us to prepare basically and just make sure that when we do get the budgets, for example with Daddy Days, you can see the budget is way bigger than anything we've ever done, but we've done it to an excellent level. So it can be difficult, like you kind of touched on, because I don't want to like leave my home and feel like I'm not doing something that like I like being around my family. I like being around my son. I like raising my son. So I don't want to leave home for something that's just like pointless, or it's not worthwhile, it's not really working. Even if we go out and we mess up or like we do whatever, like we just need to make sure that we're taking intentional steps forward, or we're failing forwards, if that makes sense. So that when the time comes, we're prepared. Like we've had industry meetings where people are kind of surprised at our level of preparation. Like we're currently writing on this TV show for CBeebies, and even when we're pitching ideas for the episodes, they were like kind of surprised, or like they were thankful at preparation in getting into it, and like in you know, presenting one liners here or two liners there, and instead of like doing a whole thing in order for them to like unpick it and be like, okay, we got to take that out, we got to take that out. So they love our preparation, but that only comes from us continuously working at it when no one's paying attention, or maybe a few people are paying attention. We just continue to work at it.
So what I'm hearing is put in the work regardless of the spotlight.
Absolutely.
Regardless of the cameras.
Absolutely.
So when it's time for you to be in front of the spotlight, you're ready. That's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
So David, you want to talk a bit more? Because before
I feel like he just a piece on that one. But I think one saying that we've always been told is, you know, sometimes you have to make the thing that the industry doesn't know it needs. So that's what we were trying to do. That's what we're working on. That's what Christmas Games Night was, and that's what our rom-coms are really. Because you know, people say how we need more black rom-coms, the black British rom-coms. It's like
they're very original. We're going to talk about future projects. I know a few of them, I think. I'm gonna list out what I think I know. I didn't know about the CBBS thing. I'm like, I'm going global. Going global. I'm gonna touch on the ones that I've said, like I want to say critically acclaimed because I acclaimed them. First time I met you was Christmas Games Night. That was your first movie premiere. Romcom Guys, but it's still your work. And I know it's going to be showing in Rich Mix. So in
March.
Yes, I know. I remember because I saw Stephen Olugbenga. His work is going to be there as well.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Because I interviewed him sometime last year.
Oh, amazing. Yes. So you'll be there?
Of course.
Amazing.
I support
There we go.
Let's go.
That's like one of my favorite things.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm going to get you to talk about a bit more about that. So I want you to tell us about the work you've done so far, like the ones I've just mentioned. I'm saying that because, again, it's in collaboration with the NHS. And 30 Days was the biggest budget. I know you submitted it for some festivals as well. And it won some awards, didn't it?
It did.
Again, it was really nice to me when it was leading up to the Christmas Game Night program. I was talking to them like exclusively. They just said, please speak to this people. But they were so lovely to me.
They're great.
They followed me, they like all my stuff. So it's women supporting women. So I just want you to tell me a bit more about your work. I mean, I know you have a lot more. You can check them out on YouTube, guys. It's the Romcom Guys on YouTube. You can check out all their work. It's short. You don't have to look at your phone. 3 minutes. Just watch, you laugh. But tell us about the work that you're releasing. We can start from his sickle cell journey. See that's already done. And then the things that like we can also watch. So just tell us a bit more about that if you don't mind.
So I think his sickle journey was actually like our first proper rom-com, I think.
That was before we were Romcom Guys.
Officially, that was like our debut kind of. Because before that, we'd been doing projects together, was more just like comedy. We did a web series, Minister in Training. But his Sickle Journey was our like foray into, he's the director, I'm the actor. We wrote this thing that's about love, but then it carries a deeper message. Obviously, it's a sickle cell awareness piece, and we're really fortunate to work with NHS Blood and Transplant to make it happen. And they really helped us out. You know, we did a blood drive for the actual film as well to get that scene, but also to get people to donate for the first time. So incredible experience, and then that led to opportunities with Croydon Sickle Cell and Thalassemia Centre, where we were screening the film in schools and doing little talks about
fantastic. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It was really
Norwood High School as well?
So we did, so in the Croydon area, just doing some schools, and it was great. It was really great, and I think we learned a lot about obviously filmmaking from that process, because we're like, let's just make this 30-minute film, why not? And that was a lot, but we got through it. And then we learned a lot just about sickle cell and its importance. And I think we really connected to it more, because obviously we were, I think we're both carriers. We have, family members that have it, cousins and whatnot. So it's been close to us, but then putting it in film and like putting it out in the world has almost become our mission. So don't be surprised if you see more projects from us about sickle cell. But that was our little foray into that.
Then with Daddy Days, we weren't ever gonna, we've applied for the BFI Short Film Fund multiple times. Like I said before, any filmmaker in the UK is usually applying for funds as much as they can, and we've never got it. So when we were, I think we were writing Christmas Games Night. We were writing Christmas Games Night, and I was like, do you know what it is? It was David had Casualty, and I was like, David's leaving me behind. I need to do something. I need to do something because David's on TV. But it's not even like it's not even an insecurity thing. It's more like an iron sharpens iron thing. So I was like, okay, cool. I need to go out there and make a really, really, really good short film, because I basically put off doing like, your 12-minute short films for a festival. I've kind of put that off for a while, trying to break into TV, but came up with this idea that was originally a sitcom called Daddy Days, and then I decided to turn it into a short film kind of aspect and make it a bit more comedy drama. Then David agreed to produce it, so we applied for the funding in 2023, 2024?
Yeah,
24? Yeah, year of Christmas games now, yeah. So we applied for the funding, eventually got it after like rounds and rounds and rounds and interviews as well. We eventually got the whole film funded, and not a lot of people got their whole film funded. Some people get like 50% or X amount, and then you have to raise them other money yourself. We got the whole film funded, biggest budget we've worked with, and then yeah, that's just a comedy drama about dads essentially, and the insecurities and masculinity and fatherhood. Cutest baby ever, my nephew, he's amazing. Really and then Demeji did it. So yeah, if you're around in March, Daddy Days will be screening at Rich Mix. And then Football Fantastics?
Football Fantastics, yeah. So we've been trying to break into the world of TV for a while now, and our journey is so unorthodox, it's crazy. Like we did this film pitching competition.
It looks like
listen,
literally it's so unclear how things happen. You just move from one place to another, talk to this person, talk to that person,
get an agent, right for TV.
It's never a straight line. Nope.
That's not.
Nope.
So so we did this film competition called The Pitch. We got really close. We won the award for outstanding comedy pitch, but we didn't win the ultimate award to actually get a film made, which was quite disappointing at the time. But the judges were really on our side, and one of them, Jassa, who was in Some Girls, incredible actor, incredible author. He's written a book, it's great. Yeah, so he really just championed us, and he said that he would introduce us to some people. So he introduced us to Nathan Bryan. Nathan Bryan, who did Riley. Legend.
I love Riley.
We love Riley. We told him that.
We told him that. I love David as well.
Yeah. Oh,
love Riley.
Genius, just incredible group. Raynana Miller, Vivian, they
he
killed
has
it.
a film out in the cinema right now, doesn't he?
Is that Wasteman?
Yeah.
That one looks like it'll be good.
The producer, I've interviewed him befefore, so he was talking to me about it.
Oh wow!
So he was like, "Oh, I should go see it." So I'm definitely going to see it. That's fantastic.
But so Nathan we sent him some of our films, and he was bigging up our thing and just saying he was encouraging us and supporting us. Said he's going to connect us with people. So we had Jassa connect us with Nathan. Nathan connected us with a guy called Matt Kilroy. God opens doors. He opens doors.
I love that.
So we sent our stuff to Matt Kilroy, and he works for a production company that makes children's TV. So they do Jamie Johnson FC and this other show, Football Fantastics. And ultimately, he actually read some of our scripts, said, "You guys are pretty good. We'd love to get you writing on our show sometime." And he followed through with that. So
you're writing for series. That's so cool.
Bless him. Big up.
Big up next year. Anyway, thank you guys so much for speaking with me today. That was it. It was after CBBS, right?
We have a project that we wrote last year, and it's a mini series, and I really love this mini series, and I really want to make this mini series.
How many episodes?
It's 3 episodes right now, but that's because it was a submission to a call out for mini series by Channel 4. So we've made a new story, a sickle cell related again. It's like a rom-com that kind of descends into something a bit more dramatic due to the experiences that the characters go through. And the mini series meant to kind of if you get the chance to make the mini series, you get the opportunity to present what a full series could look like as well. I really love this idea. We've submitted it. We haven't heard anything back just yet. We don't know when. I don't know when we're supposed to hear anything back.
We should chase them up.
We might chase them up. I don't know.
Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year.
But I really love this idea. It's called It's Bigger Than Us, and hopefully we'll get the opportunity to make that with them because. The budget is crazy for that. If not, we'll try to see what that looks like. Essentially, because obviously we both have financial goals and stuff like that, and spending money yourself is very difficult. But I think it's possible to make it. It's just that it's going to take a lot. And obviously we haven't spread ourselves that thin for a long time. So I'm not saying it's due, but I'm saying that if we do this and then we disappear for another year and a half or something, don't be surprised.
I feel like a lot of times I'm not to get religious. Sometimes when the idea is in your head, there's a reason the idea is
absolutely.
You might as well.
Absolutely.
God always makes room for it. You might as well.
Amen.
We'll see what it takes.
Trust me, I did not think I'll be here today. That's why this is it's such a full circle moment for me. Because literally, they're my first ever interview. I'm gonna stitch it. And the reason I interviewed them was because I was like, I'm never gonna be in front of the camera again. I'm just gonna be behind. And I'm going to be talking to people, and I never have to look at people because I don't like being public or whatever. I don't like being perceived by people I don't want to be perceived by. But look at me now.
How
many people have I spoken to? And you guys literally were the catalyst for literally these interviews. I enjoy it so much. The thing I care about the most is the BTS. Every time me and Phil talking, we're talking about, can you imagine this person? Look at the work. It doesn't make any sense. I care about how you make the film and why you make the film more than, this is why usually I don't talk to actors, but because you're also a producer.
Thank you for having me.
Giving multiple talents.
I'll try my best.
Thank you guys so much for sitting with me. Say bye to ITK. Oh, you should say hi ITK Reviews if you want to.
Hi ITK Reviews.
Bye as well.
Bye ITK Reviews.
Thank you so much. See you later.